So, lads, today we're going to talk a little bit about the game. And I watched back on this and I said it, like, if you watch me throughout the stream, even when, like, we were up 5 and I was like, we could lose this game, I was like, regardless of the result, I can see why players trust Stephanie White to play with Stephanie White. I can see why players trust her. I don't think Stephanie White is this fun basketball coach. I don't think she's someone that, like, her A game is to play fast. I think that's her B game. I think she can play fast. I think it's her B game. I don't think she actively wants to have a team that plays fast. And if you guys agree, subscribe. We are trying to hit 55.8 thousand by the end of the day. We're 96 off. We're not going to hit it, but if we could, that would be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. But at the same time, when it comes to Stephanie White, she is she is what she is. She is a playoff coach. She is a game planner. She's a really good game planner. I thought, like, I don't mind a coach being willing to take a tech for the team. And she's ballsy. She is ballsy. Like, there's no question about that. Like, she essentially told Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey, you have stunk. Sit for the second half. Like, she put Kelsey Mitchell on only because they were struggling to beat the press. If they weren't struggling to beat the press, Kelsey Mitchell would have been benched for the whole second half. Chloe Bibby is on a 7-day deal. Chloe Bibby was there they had a 6-player lineup to end the game in crunch time before obviously the presses, and it just kind of got weird, like actual crunch time. They had a 6-player lineup on the 6-player rotation, and Kelsey Mitchell was not in that 6-player rotation. Like, she went with Lexi and Sophie in those minutes. Like, it was ballsy. And we're going to talk a little bit about the game plan and how I think it was a masterclass defensive performance. And it's funny, you might be being like, oh, the Phoenix Mercury scored 101 points. How was it a good defensive performance? You don't understand how many quick fouls the Phoenix Mercury made. Like, teams were in team fouls so early because the Mercury were hacking. And in the first quarter, yes, the defense wasn't there, but it was transition defense. It was really transition defense that killed them in the first quarter. And you can see right here, points in the paint, 46, turnover 17, 2 shot clocks, points off turnovers, plus 11 for the Indiana Fever. The amount of turnovers that the Indiana Fever forced Alyssa Thomas into. They literally were like, Alyssa, you are going to beat us by yourself. Alyssa Thomas took 22 shots. She took 22 shots. Like, that is unheard of. That's unheard of. And, like, I think a lot of people are going to go, look at the stat line. She had a 30-point near triple-double. And I'm not saying Alyssa Thomas was bad. They literally were like, you can have 40, 15, and 15. We don't care. We don't care. You can see right here, like, in her shots, amount of shots taken. Field goals attempt to 70 and 15, 8. Like, she has... Wait, they've lost 3 of their last 4. Oh, my God. I didn't realize it had been that bad. But, like, if you look at game logs, that's the second most amount of shots she's taken this season. Albeit, it is her career high. It is her career high in points. What does she have in these other games? She had 29, where she took more shots. But in that game, she had 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And it was that a win against Minnesota? Yeah, it was a win against Minnesota. This one was in a loss. Stephanie White went out and coached this game like it was a playoff game. It was literally, we are denying Satu. And in fairness, Satu still got a couple. Satu's points all came from backdoor cuts and her just being physically bigger than Lexi Hall, which it's fine. Like, you're going to give up some size. Satu is Satu at the end of the day. As much as I think Satu is a fucking myth, and she's a myth as in she's not a top 10 player, I'd still take her over Natasha Howard. Copper hit shots. Copper did what she was supposed to do. Let's not complain. But they were literally like, and this was the tactic that the Indiana Fever went out with. We are not letting Sammy Whitcomb beat us from 3. And yes, Sammy Whitcomb hit a half-court shot and a crazy, like, step-back fade away, and she made one open shot. She shot a lot of contested shots and a lot of dumb shots, and they were giving Sammy Whitcomb layups. The Fever literally said, you will beat us inside the 3-point line. We don't care how this happens. You will beat us inside the 3-point line. And the Mercury shoots so quickly, and the Fever were pushing the tempo and shooting so quickly that it's going to be a high-scoring game just because they were running up and down. It wasn't anything really to do with like elite offense. It was literally just transition offense, where Alyssa Thomas in her defense was fantastic, was absolutely fantastic. But when it came to Nate Tibbetts, like, I'm shocked Nate Tibbetts didn't go to the zone. I'm shocked because they literally played denial and let Ari McDonald score layups. They did not care about Ari McDonald. She had an 18-point first half. They didn't care. They didn't guard her. They absolutely didn't guard her. And I was saying this at halftime about Tibbetts, is that Tibbetts is a coach where he's like, this is what we're doing. We don't care. This is our scout report. We're not veering off from the scout report, which is over the course of a season always good, but I'm never 100% on sticking to your scout report no matter what. And in fairness to Tibbetts, like, Tibbetts normally throws in multiple zones, different coverages. They literally just let Ari McDonald go downhill for the entire game. Could this have been a game where Tibbetts as a coach, because again, if you know anything about Nate Tibbetts, he's liable to do anything in any given game. Like, teams can go out and set. He could throw out 15 different junk zones in one game. He could do literally anything. He is liable as a coach to do anything. So, like, good or bad, and more often than not good. There's a chance that he saw the emotion in his team and just said, you know what, I'm sitting back and I'm just going to make subs. Because they went out with the same tactic from start to finish. But for the Indiana Fever, they put Aaliyah Boston on Alyssa Thomas, which really negated a lot of Alyssa Thomas's main strengths, which is her ability to bulldoze. And also, I know she had a lot of points. She shot 60% from the field. Like, it was actually impressive. The one thing the Indiana Fever did really bad with Alyssa Thomas was their offensive, was the second chance points. Alyssa Thomas got 3 putbacks on them. And that's not good enough. That was absolutely not good enough. Like, if you take out those 3 putbacks, this is a completely different game. Alyssa Thomas a couple of times went head downhill to the layup. What the Indiana Fever didn't do for the entire game was they did not send the double at Alyssa Thomas. They were not willing to give up a 3 at all. This is a team that shoots 40 threes a game that shot 20. Like, the Indiana Fever literally were like, we are willing to let Alyssa Thomas go one-on-one downhill. Aaliyah, you go and guard her. And Aaliyah bodied her up a few times, forced her into some tough misses. And Alyssa Thomas, I'm sorry, like, I've never seen a player throw the ball to the crowd as much as Alyssa Thomas. I mean it when I say it. Dead ball turnovers are better than live ball turnovers, but it was as if she thought the fans were her teammates. She spent so long talking to the fans that I think she thought they were her teammates, and she just kept passing the ball to fans. Like her turnovers, she had 8 turnovers, and I'm not joking when I say it, at least 6 of them were just times she launched the ball into the crowd. Like, anywhere near. It wasn't like if this pass works out, it's an assist. There was maybe one of them, I think, on a DeWanna Bonner cut, but she was just launching the ball into the crowd. It was crazy. I don't remember any of the assists other than when she launched forward to Okoma McCanny. But again, it's Alyssa Thomas. She's the DHO merchant. But at the end of the day, like, Steph White has a blueprint to beat this Phoenix Mercury team. And I think that blueprint, other teams can use that blueprint. The blueprint is, let Alyssa score 30. Alyssa Thomas is a better engine than she is scorer, and let her score 30. Who cares? Genuinely, who cares if she scores 30? Because if Alyssa Thomas she is much better getting everyone else in the rhythm. And it's like the Jokic thing, where sometimes teams just let Jokic score 40. And it's not too dissimilar to Caitlin Clark. Like, Caitlin Clark is better when she's getting everybody else involved and it maybe scores 16 to 22 of her own points than when she's trying to force the issue and playing off the ball. Whereas Alyssa Thomas basically today was a net negative a lot of the time because they literally stood under the basket guarding her. They did everything they could to not be called for defense for 3 seconds, and they barely guarded her. And they let her score. They let her shoot those. They let her shot put the ball into the basket a few times, and she hit a few of them. And like, Alyssa Thomas played well, but like, to win that game, Alyssa Thomas needed 40. They needed 40 because if you're like, oh, but Ari McDonald had an unbelievable game, but like, if you guys watch how they guarded in the first half, they did not care about Ari McDonald. They had Copper on her, who's been back from an injury, who has lost a lot of her quickness. She's lost a lot of her lateral. Ari burned her every time. Had they done the same and put whoever was guarding Kelsey Mitchell on Ari, if they didn't focus so much on her, Kelsey Mitchell would have ran in open layups. Aaliyah Boston, they were just hacking her. They were just randomly hacking Aaliyah Boston off the ball most of the time. Natasha Howard was getting some open shots. Sophie Cunningham was getting wide open. Like, players were getting open and easy shots for the Indiana Fever because they were just denying everything. The Phoenix Mercury played overly aggressive. They went for steals. It didn't work out, and the Fever just got the better of them. Absolutely got the better of them. And I have to say, Stephanie White, masterclass. Stephanie White, masterclass. And I mean it. Like, if you look at their run that came back into the game, it was a second quarter run. So just going to show you guys right here. And this was like absolutely the moment that everything changed. So we're in, not quarter four. We're in quarter two. Like, I don't know what was wrong with Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell was on 4 fouls, came on, started 4, and just hacked for no reason. So, Ari McDonald 3, and it's a 9-point game. Chloe Bibby gets fouled on the 3. And suddenly it's like a little bit of a game. And it was just, they come, AT comes back in the game at 8:42, turnover for Chloe Bibby. Copper literally just shoved her in the back. I don't understand how that wasn't either a flagrant or a take foul. Aaliyah Boston missed a shot, but it's like there's a stretch in this here where they just started fouling. AT got called for her 4th turnover, and then it was like suddenly, it's a 8-point game. AT turns the ball over with a travel. Then AT throws the ball into the stand. Like, AT turnover 7? Oh, sorry, no, it's turnover 7 for the team there. And she travels. She goes and throws it out of bounds. Ari scores. Then she throws it out of bounds again. Or sure, it's through to Lexi again. Laxa missed a shot. It is what it is. And then she turns it over again. Like, Alyssa Thomas had 3 turnovers before her team scored a bucket. And then all of a sudden, by the end of that run, it's a tie game. Alyssa Thomas misses. Sid Colson comes in the game. Big shot, in fairness, for Kat Westbelt to tie it up. And if you're just looking through all of this where it's like, okay, yeah, it is what it is. It's close. It's back and forth. But, like, they were completely in this game. Like, they were in control of the game. And then Alyssa Thomas, who was killing it, went turnover. It's another turnover where she passed the ball into the stands. In the second quarter, she had 4 turnovers, a travel, twice where she threw the ball into the stands, and once where she threw it to Lexi Hull. Did she have another turnover in this quarter? She had another turnover, yeah. So she had 6 turnovers at halftime. 5 in a quarter, and 3 of them were just launching it out of bounds. Like, it was not a really disaster class quarter. And suddenly it's an 8-point game till they hit the circus shot. Like, it's funny. We look at the box scores and it's like Alyssa Thomas was their best player. Like, in that run, when they went from being in complete control to level, it was literally a spell where it was score, Alyssa Thomas turnover, score, Alyssa Thomas turnover, score, missed shot, score, Alyssa Thomas turnover, score. And suddenly it goes from you being completely out of the game, 9-point game, to being up 8 points with Alyssa Thomas with 5 turnovers in that spell. Like, it was the key spell of the game. It's what changed all the game. And the exact moment, realistically, the Indiana Fever won the game was when they put Alyssa Thomas back in that second quarter. As great as she was, she literally lost them that game. Like, I watched it back, and I'm like, because Alyssa Thomas killed it down the stretch. She killed it in the first quarter. Oh my God, she was unbelievable in the first quarter. And then I was just trying to think, and I'm like, how did the Fever come back? So I watched that run, and I'm like, I hadn't looked at the box score, but it was just Alyssa Thomas turnover, Alyssa turnover, Alyssa turnover, Alyssa turnover. Like, that was the moment that realistically the Fever won that game. So yeah, like, Steph White masterclass and Alyssa Thomas disaster class.